Hey YouTube, it's GV Lone Guy. It's November 27th, 2011, and I'm over here at the Daily Trumpet blog page. A friend of mine brought an article to my attention yesterday, and it impressed me so much I wanted to bring this information to you guys. It's basically about the police and the police state and the statistics that are driving the militarization of our local police forces. I don't think it's a good thing, but it's been going on for a long time, and it's kind of like putting a frog in water and boiling it. The frog really has no sensation of the slow, inevitable boiling that's going on because he can't really sense the change from one temperature to the other as it gets hotter and boils. So it sits there comfortably and just waits to be boiled to death. So that's kind of like how I feel we're doing with regard to this militarization of the local police forces. I mean, these guys are armed to the hilt here under the pretense of protecting us. Of course, it's always we're from the government and we're here to help. Anyway, we've come a long way from Mayberry. That's all I'm saying. Back in Mayberry, serve and protect actually meant serve and protect. In fact, my wife told me the story of a policeman that actually changed a flat tire for her when she was on the freeway, parked in a really dangerous interchange area, and she had our three small kids in the car with her, and this policeman pulled over, and instead of giving her a ticket, which is what would have happened today, he actually got out and changed the flat tire for her. That, I'm telling you, that really impressed me. The thing is, that was 25 years ago. The other thing is, I was going to say, I really do respect the job that these guys choose to do. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be a cop. It's just not in me. I mean, they put themselves at risk every day, and I have a great deal of respect for them for doing that. But today, we're facing an extremely different version of serve and protect. And when I say we, I mean we, the people, that pay the cops' salaries. So, you've all seen the videos on the Occupy Wall Street people getting beat up and abused by the cops. So I think every one of these sessions that we're seeing is a practice session. The cops are in training. They're using Occupy Wall Street just to get themselves all trained up so they can ultimately at some point deal with the mass of U.S. citizens that revolt once we are real clear about what our government's been doing to us for all these years. Anyway, it seems like today the police don't serve their communities. They're at war with them. And I've got some interesting statistics from this article. The amount of money that the Department of Homeland Security hands out every year to boost the anti-terrorism efforts is $3 billion, with a B, dollars. $3 billion a year is going out from Homeland Security, your tax dollars, to boost anti-terrorism effort. The value of the military equipment given to 17,000 domestic police agencies by Law Enforcement Support Program between 1997 and 2005, $727 million. There's been a huge increase in the SWAT teams. From 1985 to 1996, in towns with populations between 25,000 and 50,000, there's been a 157% increase in SWAT teams in small communities. The Sheriff Department in Boone County, Indiana was actually given an amphibious armored personnel carrier by the federal government, even though it's 700 miles from the Atlantic Ocean. And between 2006 and 2009, the percentage of delayed notice search warrants served under the expanded powers of the Patriot Act that were for drug investigations was 92%. The percentage applied to actual counterterrorism investigation, 0.009%, or almost nothing. How about this one? The number of M16s obtained from the federal government by Jasper, Florida Police Department, 7. 7 M16s for the Jasper, Florida Police Department. How many stoplights has Jasper, Florida got? 3. So they've got 3 stoplights, but they've got 7 M16s. I don't know, folks. I'm not sure what this is all about, but I think we're going to find out. Here's another one. The number of police trained per year at the 4 federal law enforcement training centers. Every year, Local police are being trained by the federal law enforcement training centers, 25,000 a year. And the percentage of SWAT teams being trained by active duty military experts in special ops, 46%. 46%, that's almost half. Half of the police currently, every year, are being trained by active duty military experts in special ops, special operations. What do you mean that's not the militarization of our local police? That's exactly what it is. The number of military-grade infrared cameras mounted on patrol cars in Memphis for the purpose of automated license plate recognition. How many? 70. 70 little snooping spy cams in Memphis. All to track you folks and find out if your registration's current. No, I don't think so. Number of surplus bayonets provided to law enforcement agency by the Defense Logistics Agency between October 1st, 1996 and September 30th, 1997. That's 1 year, folks. More than 6,400 bayonets. Bayonets are normally used in like hand-to-hand combat, aren't they? What are they expecting, folks? The number of terrorism prevention and response facilities known as, quote, fusion centers, I like to call them re-education centers, used to spy on American citizens, at least 72 of these facilities. This is America, folks. And these are your police forces. We're here to serve and protect. That's what we're paying them to do. But is that what they're doing? No, I don't think so. Lately, they've been preparing themselves to go to war against us, the American citizens, for years now. As of November 2010, the sole function of M113 armored personnel carrier that cost $525,000, owned by Lenawee County, Michigan, the only thing it does so far is appears in parades. The cost of the 2010 Lenco Bearcat armored vehicle provided to Santa Barbara, California Police Department by the Homeland Security Department, $242,909.95. Santa Barbara. They need one of those armored vehicles there for sure. Estimated number of SWAT teams deployments per day in the U.S., 160. And of that 160, 75 to 80% of those deployments are used to serve warrants in drug investigations. What is this, the war on drugs? Which is basically the war on American citizens? Or what is this? Is this Homeland Security? Of the 487 police departments asked about deployment of police paramilitary units, more than 20% said their tactical teams were used for community patrols. So they're using the tactical units, tactical teams, in 20% of the cases. 20% of these 487 police departments, that's about 100 police departments, are using their paramilitary units for community patrols. Get ready, folks. They're coming to a neighborhood near you soon. And here's the topper. There's at least one police department that has anti-aircraft capability. Any guesses on who that might be? NYPD. So you've got to ask yourselves, who are they arming themselves against? Here's another one. This just came out yesterday. Saturday, November 26th. Congress voting next week on explicitly creating a police state. If you thought police brutality was bad, wait until you see what Congress wants to do next week. The police brutality against peaceful protesters in Berkeley, Davis, Oakland, and elsewhere is bad enough. But next week, Congress is going to vote explicitly on creating a police state. The ACLU's Washington Legislative Office explains the Senate is gearing up for a vote on Monday or Tuesday that goes to the very heart of who we are as Americans. The Senate will be voting on a bill that will direct American military resources not at an enemy shooting at our military in a war zone, but at American citizens and other civilians far from any battlefield, even people here in the United States itself. The Senate is going to vote on whether Congress will give this president and every future president the power to order the military to pick up and imprison without charges or trial civilians anywhere in the world. Okay, folks, I'm telling you, this stuff's coming our way. The power is so broad that even U.S. citizens could be swept up by the military, and the military could be used far from any battlefield. I know it sounds incredible, new powers to use the military worldwide, even within the United States. Hasn't anyone told the Senate that Osama bin Laden is dead, that the president is pulling all of the combat troops out of Iraq and trying to figure out how to get combat troops out of Afghanistan too? And American citizens picked up on American or Canadian or British streets are being sent to military prisons indefinitely without even being charged with a crime? Really? Does anyone think this is a good idea? And why now? In support of this harmful bill, Senator Lindsey Graham explained that the bill will basically say, in law for the first time, that the Homeland is part of the battlefield, and people can be imprisoned without charge or trial, American citizen or not. Wow. I'll post the links.